Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Ethiopia. In previous episode we managed to capture a bit of proper land from Egypt now. We haven't started coring them quite yet. We probably will do that. It's just going to require a bit more bureaucracy, which admittedly we are going to be building some. Well, we've got one queued up right now. We might want to get more than that actually. Is there any areas that have low taxation? No, we've got low market access in southern Madagascar, but that's about it. We can declare more interest, though. What I'm going to do... Actually, we already got Indonesia as an interest, because we got some lands in there. Okay. We've got two interests that we could... We're going to put one in North Africa. And then that's a smart one. And then... Could go for Niger. Although I don't know if I can actually reach there, quite frankly. I mean, maybe I could do a landing or something in there. Possibly. But I think, you know what, we could make Japan as an interest. Not for landing in there, but for trading with them. But I think one thing that we do need to do is we need to start improving relations with China. It does take quite a bit of influence. That means that the infamy is not dropping all that quickly. Largely thanks to the fact that our king is a bandit. So yeah, that doesn't really help the situation. He's already 91 years old though, so there is a chance that he'll keel over soon enough. But we've got a lot of construction under... Well, actually we don't have that much construction going on, but we will have some. We're losing quite a bit of money on construction though. We're using 121,000, although good for military buildings is 131,000 and government wages 168, so the construction isn't actually the biggest expenditure. It's just not getting necessarily enough for the stuff. Let's just let this time start rolling, and I think one thing that we might have to do, or should probably do, is conquer Borneo, because not only does it have sulfur and iron in the north, as well as gold, in the west it's got more gold and lead, and in the east it's got coal. So overall it's got pretty good resources, and that kind of, I don't know, I'm almost thinking here that maybe at some point playing as, or in Borneo and uniting that island would be pretty good. Plus it does connect to here. Luzon, which is the northern half of the Philippines. What do they have here? Ooh, no, that's fishing. Never mind. I thought that was whaling for a moment. They got some iron in there, alright, and then the southern half they got more iron, and rubber, of course. Ah, so there is actually 3 states total in the Philippines. Alright, so what do they have here? More iron. Okay, so not that much different. Let's just keep the time ticking. So we got another 3 years before we can declare our next war against Egypt. We'll see how the situation evolves then. Hopefully it gets slightly better, but at the meantime... improved relations broken with who? Oh, no German Federation. Okay, we improved to the max. And that means that we are reducing the infamy a little bit faster again. It's not all that great still. It's still 68.6 total. And Russia is having a civil war. Germany is having a civil war. France has lost regions, but they are still the #1 great power, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, let's double check. Yeah, they're still the #1. How much do they have? They got 3,400 prestige. It's more than double what we have. Admittedly, their GDP is also more than doubled. They got a larger army, and probably slightly better quality army at that. Let's actually double check. If we have a look at the capital, the barracks, says they got trench infantry. Oh, they got chemical weapons. Uses oil and artillery and all that, alright. That does remind me though. How much do we have oil being produced here? It's already a max, and this is already getting pretty high over here as well. Well, it's slowly expanding. Or it was just recently built actually, I think is well is the case. How much is the oil price? It's not too bad right now. Well, that's definitely good news. And we've got a lot of coal mines in here, but this is the only coal mines that we have in our entire market, so it needs to be big. Luckily, with the extra stuff in there, it means that the throughput is starting to be pretty good, so it's already producing 2,600 coal here per week. That's pretty decent, actually. It's not the best coal mine in the world, though. I suppose if we started using dynamite, it would become probably one of the best. Because it would be an extra 700... Oh. So Tidora is now a puppet of Portugal. And then the Austrians got a... Or a Moluccas? Oh yeah, they got a province over here. Well, wasn't expecting that. But yeah, we got a pretty good stretch of land over here, which we are currently building up a lot. Could probably expand the iron mines in there if it's profitable. And we might want to add in another port in here just in case. And there's 40,000 peasants. We could maybe start building a bit of an army in here for the Indonesia. Especially if we start conquering Borneo, but we're not quite ready for it yet. First we need to make sure that the Great King doesn't hate us all that much. They're a bit cautious towards us. Slowly improving relations at least. And we have cultural exclusion, so we may need to drop one of the taxes. I suppose the liquor tax will have to go. Just double checking that there's not anything better. I mean, the coffee tax would have been slightly better. But yeah, no, that's about it. I mean, the service tax is 44,000. I think we want to keep that tax in there. So we're losing a lot of cash, let's put it that way. Government wages are pretty high. The investment pool may have... Oh yeah, that has dropped a little bit. So overall, in terms of money, we are a little bit in dire situation. Oh, that reminds me. We got some extra battalions in here, as well as 10 in the Nile. So what we are going to do, first of all, we'll need to select something from Ethiopia. You're level 1, you got expert artillery commanders. I think what we're going to do is we're going to promote you. And that's going to even up the troops, so we've got 40 and 40 and 20 instead of 51 and 20 and 20. And then we need to recruit a general for Nile. Let's have a look. Charismatic, defensive strategies, offensive planner. It's not bad. And charismatic increases the popularity. And morale recovery and all that. So it's actually pretty decent. From armed forces, so that's fine by me. And there we go. Now we got no extra battalions in reserve. But we've got 150 battalions total. Ammunition, opium, and rubber are pretty expensive. And we're slowly building up the opium. And over here we are getting the railway soon. Do we have... We don't have the max level port. Let's just go ahead and put that in there. And do we have a lot of convoys available? We do have quite a bit. Anything for the export? We could export some liquor, I suppose. If we export to the Ottomans, we don't need to use any of our convoys. It's not necessarily going to be a lot of tariffs, but it'll be better than nothing. Well, it looks like some of our puppets don't have a proper infrastructure in there. I mean, they might be able to build some now. Some railways, that is. Except they don't really have the population in there. Alright, that could be a bit of an issue then. We're getting some munitions plant in our capital. Actually, what we should probably start doing is maybe build the power plants on the other two states. Just because this area is probably not going to be all that... Like, there's already so many factories in here that keeping up with the infrastructure is going to be tricky. We might be able to expand it a bit further, of course. I do wonder, is there... No, there isn't any throughput for the railways. I guess that's good to know. Put in another railway level there just in case, because we're going to be expanding a lot. What's this? General protest. Jeribi Galu has brought to light some questionable habits of Yelma Demis partakes in and is demanding they be fired. That's a major general. Is he? Oh, opium addict. Oh, but you're a bandit. The landowners still got pretty good loyalty. So even if we say we can't fire him, they'll still be pretty loyal. Who's that? That's the admiral. Ah, right. I'd say we don't fire him. Right, so we did pass the law. Is there any other laws? I mean, technically speaking, I'm almost tempted to go for the presidential republic. Just so that we can get rid of the bad ruler, but at the same time, that goes kind of against the goals that... or not necessarily the goals, but the spirit of what we've established on this run. We'll try to stay monarchy as long as possible. We could technically switch the voting laws, I suppose, but we're already well voting, and most of the population... Actually, I don't remember now. Oh, it's plus 25 for the voting, so both the middle and upper strata, for the most part, can already vote. Other than going for the mass conscription, which... the trade unions like that, but no one else really does. That would increase the amount of battalions that we can mobilize quite a bit, though. So in Pinch, we can get a lot of troops if need be. We could go for the social security or something like that in here. The poor laws are slightly supported by the industrialists, and then the trade unions support the other two laws. Alright. And they have got about the same amount of power. Oh, no, only the trade unions signed the government to begin with. Alright, well, I'm sure that we'll have another election soon enough. But yeah, we got some troops. We could maybe start planning the invasion into Borneo. Question is, of course, who should we attack? If we, say, take this one, because this is closer to us, if we go for the conquest, it's only 5 infamy, actually. That's not too bad. They would have Philippines on their side. I do wonder, how strong is the... Or they would start with the Philippines on their side, knowing who else would join. They got trench infantry, mobile artillery, bicycles, and the field hospitals. Alright. That reminds me, the opium price is increasing still, as well as tea price, actually. We might want to increase the tea plantations in here. Just put it in auto upgrade if there's nothing else. And then over here maybe we'll do coffee and dyes. And then maybe over here we could go for the millet farms. Because they seem to be quite profitable in here. Actually, what makes them so profitable? Oh, because they produce sugar as well. Ah, I see. We might want to actually build some sugar plantation. I believe we got some sugar plantations down here, don't we? Somewhere. Oh yeah, we do. Let's put that to auto upgrade. Because sugar price is going pretty high right now. Alright, so we're getting some more furnitures, we're getting some more railways, chemical plant. Oh, did we manage to reduce the ammunition cost yet? It's still plus 37%. Still losing 114,000 per week. Oh boy. Yeah, the interest rates are starting to accumulate quite a bit here. If we stop construction, we could stop that, or, you know, start making some money. At the same time, if we just keep on constructing things to improve our economy, then we should be on the better end of deal. But at the same time, oh, the wine price is going up, clothing price is going down, luxury clothing prices are still going up. That's something that we might want to... Ooh, actually, if we start using the rubber in here, which we don't have a lot, but that is going to increase productions there. And I suppose we've got the rubber plantations already. At least one of them is upgrading. We'd maybe upgrade that one as well. Just increase the rubber production a bit further. Like, we got, well, 1 week and one of them is completed, then 8 weeks for another one, 12 weeks over there. The funny thing about the construction queue over here is that it just takes the last one on the list there. And if that was a quick one, then it might queue up some other things in there. Ah, we got a defensive depth, so that's going to increase our army defense by 30%. That's going to be really useful in our future wars. I think what we might want to do, though, is start working on a bit more production things, just to increase our economy a little bit. Although, what are we getting in society? We're getting the feminism, alright. And then military, we just got... Oh, right, we got the landing craft in there. Now, actually, that could be very useful. I'm going to do that one real quick. Because at that point, we're going to do easy landings into Borneo. And that would help quite a bit. Let's just double check the... So the Philippines have the trench infantry, right? At least in theory, yeah, they do. And then Kutai over here has irregulars, right? Because that would not be a problem, getting the landing in there. And then hopefully we'd be able to conquer most of it by that point. We don't have a massive amount of fleets right now, nor do we have the money to really expand the fleets. Getting another shipyard. And we're losing 123... Oh, wow. So we're losing more than what we're using on construction right now. I suppose what we might want to do is go ahead and just switch the construction sectors that are using steel right now back to iron frame. That's going to save us a bit of money. Plus also glass and explosives and all that sort of stuff. It does slow down our construction a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. So now it's only 107,000, and once we wait for a week, it might drop even further or increase, who knows. But that way we can at least sort of save some of the cash. We're still losing 5,000 even without construction, so we definitely need to improve our economy. Which we're trying to do. Oh, there's another opium plantation in Upper Egypt. We are going to be expanding that for a while, apparently. I mean, it's producing already 423, actually. Right, we got that as much upgrades as possible, so it won't get any better, unfortunately. But yeah, we've still got about 2 years before we can declare another war on Egypt. We could try declaring war on Ottomans. We could start damaging the relations, I suppose. I'm not going to expel the diplomats because I don't want to take any more infamy if I don't have to. We're still notorious with 65.6 infamy. So burning through that is taking a while. But hopefully we can get China as at least cordial relations with them. Oh, we're getting more sulfur mines over here. I mean, I suppose the sulfur is in quite high need overall, so I'm not really that surprised by it. And the chemical plant over here, how's the explosive price? It's still a little bit elevated, to say the least. We're producing 770 in here, and how much do we need in our market? Oh, the meat price has increased. Ah, interesting. I mean, that means that we could probably expand the livestock ranches and hedgehogs then, because those are already pretty much at the max efficiency. Right, but the explosives that I wanted to check. So we produced about 1,000 total. Where do we have the other? No, it's just 1,000 in our... Oh. Alright. We use already quite a bit extra, so we might want to get another level for the chemical plant, which actually is losing some cash right now. Why is that? Oh, the fertilizer is not very profitable. That might be part of the reason. Let's have a look at the rural buildings. So wheat farms are and millet farms are already using the fertilizers as much as they can. Right, well, I suppose there's not much beyond that then. I suppose what I could do is I could go for the automatic irrigation. No, actually, I don't think we can. Oh, what's this? Italy is invading Brunei. They want to subjugate them. The Dutch East Indies are on their side. Philippines is supporting them already. Alright. Well, I suppose this might actually be the best timing. Let's wait for that war to start. And then we'll... I don't know if there's even going to be a war. But let's hope that someone called China or something else joins in there. Well, they got a little bit of battalions already mobilized. Not a lot of them, mind you. Now, how is the... Oh, we're now making some money if we went constructing. And we got a lot of other buildings underway. Actually, one thing that I suppose I should do, or could do, is I could start going through the urban centers a little bit to see... Electric streetlights, that would be too expensive. Right now, the electricity price is basically nothing, though, so that's something to keep in mind. Is there any... No, we haven't unlocked the textile mill stuff yet, so we're not actually using the electricity all that much. Unless... If we started using it at the logging camps, they'd use a bit of electricity, that will offer a lot more wood. Especially, is the hardwood still something that we need desperately? Well, I suppose it doesn't increase the hardwood production anyway, so it doesn't matter. Well, let's do it in our capital first. That's going to free up, actually it's not going to free up any workers. Never mind. But it's going to profit, or give some profit for the electricity production, so that's going to be fine. Of course, the electricity needs to now start actually producing, which will probably take some time, but that's alright. Right, who's joined in here? Not a lot yet, only Philippines. Oh, there we go, now they got SEAC in there. They got 10 maneuvers. Oh, right, they won't be able to get anyone else. Now, I do believe we got pretty good relations with Italy, so I'm not going to bother with that. What I'm going to do now, though, because that's already underway, is I could conquer Kutai. It's fairly low infamy cost. Let's see if it actually works, or if there's other people that will immediately join against me. Austria is leading to... Ooh. Okay. I mean, they will be able to bring in only 1 or 2 nations. So I think we'll be okay in that regard. Let's go ahead and activate... Actually, no, we're not going to activate quite yet. We'll need to do a landing anyway. So we'll do the landing with the Zanji battalions. I could sway Italy in this. Alright. I'm not entirely sure if I should, but I could. But yeah, we'll have this. Is there a port in here? There is a port in there already. Plus there's some plantations, and we'll be able to get some more coal mines in here. That's a good initial start in there. And then if we could start expanding further north, that'd be pretty nice. To get the sulfur, or going for the western half to get the... Oh, what's this then? Oh. There's a civil war. Well, I'm not interested in that one, so I'm just gonna declare neutrality there. And over here, I think I'm going to declare neutrality as well. I'm not really needed in that one. And over here, they've not called anyone in yet. We'll keep an eye on what happens in this. Like, if they do... Oh, they just gave me the land. Alright, I'll take it. Right, so let's just increase the port level over there a little bit. We don't have enough infrastructure yet, but it might be because the port isn't providing any. We can go at least for the industrial port. I don't know about the modern port. We don't actually have the stuff for that. But that's going to start increasing the infrastructure, which then increases the accessibility of things. And is there... There's not a lot of manpower free over here, but I suppose what we can do... So we're going to go with the intensive grazing. Going to take a bit of grain, but provide a lot of fabric and fertilizer. Go for the slaughterhouse for the extra meat. And then go for the barbed wire fences to reduce the labor used there. And let's have a look at the rice farms. Let's use fertilizers. We can go for the steam powered treasure machines probably. There's only coal and tools. That's not too bad. I will let it produce the sugar and fruits there as well. That's good. Then the plantations in here, I don't know if there's much I can do. I could start building a railway in there, and I suppose also, let's build at least one coal mine. We could maybe build the rubber plantation. I know that we don't have workforce here right now, but we'll get some eventually. But there we go, that's a new area for us. Fairly cheap war there. How much did we take infamy? We're currently at 69.8, so around 70. So if we were to do another war over here, they are antagonistic towards us. They got a lot of defensive pacts. So this one might be a little bit more risky. But Congo Banja, that's only 5.2, so that would give us a bit more of that state. Ooh, Italy might join on their side. Hold on a minute. Why would they do that? Is it because Hold on a minute. The Brunei is part of the Italian market. The Banja, okay, I'm not entirely sure why Italy would join here. They got alliance with you, and oh, right. Actually, no, that doesn't make sense. There we go, we got the landing craft, not that we need it right now, but let's go ahead and start improving the production. So we'll get the shift work real quick, then we'll probably get the electrical capacitors, and then we can start working on the better stuff there. Just to get the research done faster. And is that one, the textile mill is 2 weeks away, so that's going to give us a bit more income, hopefully. Now, this one doesn't produce the luxury clothing, it's just the regular clothing. What are we missing right now? Okay, electricity price is starting to go up. Or rather, it's been going up a little bit, but it's now dropping. Porcelain, tea, sugar, opium, electricity, luxury furniture, explosives, meat. Meat price is still pretty high. I mean, we are selling a lot of that to the French, to be fair, so that's probably making a lot of money for us. Or causing a lot of the price increase there. There we go, things seem to be getting slightly better, at least for us. So we've got one battalion. Oh, did we get a battalion in here? We did. Let's double... We'll make sure that this is actually using the correct stuff. Might take a few moments for that to grow there. Oh, there we go. That's providing a bit more... Oh, hold on. Monument to the Emperor. More pops in our capital become more radical. 5% or 3% prestige for 5 years. Or petite bourgeoisie loses some approval. Why is the thing that they give us right now? It's more bureaucracy, which is quite useful. They would still give that even if we do this. So we'll be fine in that regard. We might want to bring in a little bit more government administration. At least one in our capital, another one over here. Another one over there, and one more in Somaliland. Let's double check. There's no low market access. There's actually a lot of places with low market access. Zambezia, Amhara, Gondar. So let's just go ahead and queue up some railways then. Actually, over here we've got increase the port level still. Give us a bit more convoys. Right, so new research. I'm going to go for the electrical capacitors because that's going to allow us to start using the electricity in clothes making, which is going to be very, very profitable for us, I reckon. At least in theory. Now, we're still making quite a bit of deficit in here, so we probably need to start getting more and more money. I mean, we did stop the steel use in our construction sector, at least, so that might help us a little bit. We've got a lot of government administration coming up there. We could start getting some of these areas integrated. I think that's not a terrible idea, but we just don't have the bureaucracy for that right now. Plus, our population has been increasing quite drastically. I mean, already at 26 million. When we got had Ethiopia more or less unified, we had like 10 or 11 million, so we got on a lot since then. Admittedly, some of that is through colonization, and some of it is through other means. The colonizing over here, 2 provinces. We don't have the cure for the severe malaria yet. We're quite a bit behind in tech in that regard. Is this one a Bhutan? Who are you allied to? No one. If I was to conquer you, Philippines would probably join on the enemy side. Alright, plus some other nations, perhaps. Do they have anything in here? I think is the bigger question. Not really. It would add in a few thousand, or like 2,000 peasants to my state over here, I suppose, but that's about it. Oh, we're getting a railway in here. Ah, okay. Right, we might want to get a port in there as well. I suppose the railway is going to be quite useful overall. To increase the access in there, and then hopefully we'll have some people moving from elsewhere in our market into here to get more out of the productions. Oh, what's this? Oh, Lucca. Oh, I'm not really interested in that one. Austria versus Lucca. I think, well, Lucca is probably going to get annexed. We'll see how it goes, though. Oh, and now we're building a lot of government administration. That's good. We are still only getting 40,000 for our investment pool transfers right now. Well, that's definitely not great. So how is our relations with Austria, anyway? They're wary of us. We could try improving relations with them. To some degree, at least. Means that we don't get quite as much infamy decay right now, but that'll probably be fine. Oh. Attempt to sway against Austria. I'm just trying to improve relations with Austria, I don't know. Because they were offering only an obligation, so that wouldn't really give me all that much. So I'm just gonna declare neutrality on there, I think. They do have East India Company supporting them. Tripolitania, Morocco. Interesting. I mean, that's gonna keep Austria busy at least. That's good to know. Right, so I do wonder though if... Oh, feminism unlocked. Alright, good. Oh, there's a bit of a fighting over here between Spanish and Bulungan. Interesting. So, what is that war about? Is that a landing that the Spanish are doing? I think it is. Papa Bulungan and Papa Jambi. Okay, well, they can do that, I suppose. Right, so we're still losing £85,000 per week. Although, now that we're getting a lot of the government administration, of course that's going to increase the government wages. But I think we can start incorporating Dongola at least. We'll sort of work through here so we'll have continuous area of the states that we want to have. I suppose Transjordan is another place that we could incorporate at some point. We could upgrade the livestock ranches over there, I suppose. There's not much else in there, to be fair. Is there even possibility for port? There is possibility for ports. Okay, well, we could get a port in there. At least it provides some extras in there. Right, so how about is yeah, it's 83,000. So we're slowly improving the situation, I suppose. The question is, are we going to have enough before we run out of credit? We've still got 13 million credit remaining, but that's not going to last all that long with this speed. Especially with the interest rates just climbing up and up. I mean, I suppose, okay, now that we've got a lot of bureaucracy again, could we, if we start incorporating this, that's another 100. We can afford it, and I think at this stage we might be wise idea. Oh, that's no longer profitable, so let's cancel that one. The steamers could, well, actually, there's only 60 extra in there. So most of the things, I mean, grain is one of the things that we have a lot. Or fertilizer, if we start exporting some of that. Oh, all share market seems to be profitable. We've got a lot of convoys available. You know what, we'll do that one. Because that is actually going to be really good for the money, I reckon. At least in theory. Because it needs to sort of build up first. So that will take quite some time. But that is going to increase, presumably, the trade center levels over here in Yemen, which is going to offer some more employment in there. And a decent bit of GDP overall. Oh, is that? Oh, you can see the trade routes from here. That's the meat and the fabric towards the French. Do we have... oh, we've got 110 over here in Somaliland. So this is trading to Zulus, to Italy. Buying tools from Italy. Selling ammunition to Austria. Oh, wow, that's expensive. But I suppose it's making a lot of money. And then buying silk from the East India Company. Now, eventually we'll have the synthetic silk, and that's going to make our life a lot easier. But we don't have that quite yet. At least we're getting the electrical capacitors rather quickly. That's going to be about 4 months, and then we'll have it. 3 or 4 months, somewhere around there. And after that, we might actually go for the artificial silk immediately. Or, what's in the military? There's the wargaming. Ah, Oh, that would offer siege artillery. That is tempting, because that would be even better stuff for our troops. Because if we compare it to the French troops, for example, do they have the siege artillery? No. But they got aerial reconnaissance. Oh. Well, that's something that we don't have, plus the chemical weaponry and all that. So yeah, they got pretty good stuff in there. So fighting the French would be quite disastrous, I'd say. However, we don't actually need to fight the... Oh, what's this? Oh. Yeah, this fights in Germany. We don't need to worry about those. So it would appear that we are actually out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe if you haven't already. Also got the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.